guys, welcome to the Crumbs and Doilies HQ, and we are super busy today making lots of amazing cakes like this piñata cake. So Sally is here today to show you how to make one of our favourite treats that we do in the shop, and that is the Velvet Volcano cookie cup, which is really delicious, and she's going to show you how to make it over there.
Awesome, thanks Gemma. Okay, so this is the ultimate cookie cup. I think hopefully you all know what cookie cups are, because Gemma's done a few of them on her channel, and this is the Velvet Volcano, which is sort of a Frankenstein cake that we made up at Crumbs and Doilies a long time ago. And this is going to start with a red velvet cookie. So to start with, I've got my stand mixer here, and I've got 170 grams of light brown sugar, and that's going to go in my mixer along with 20 grams of demerara sugar and 115 grams of soft unsalted butter. And we want it to be kind of squishable like this. And I'm going to start by beating that together with a paddle attachment on a medium speed for about 2 minutes, just to bring it all together. So it's not like a cake batter where at this stage you'd be creating loads of air. We're simply just combining the ingredients and letting the sugar start to dissolve a little bit. So once that's had a couple of minutes and it's all nicely combined, we can add the next lot of ingredients, and that's going to include 1 egg, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's always good to use really good high quality extract rather than essence. Essence it's just got a really artificial taste, so try and find extract if you can. And then this is when we're going to add our red food colouring. And I've got some paste here, so again it's important to use a good quality paste colouring rather than the liquid stuff, because liquid has a funny kind of taste to it and you have to use so much of it to get that colour, and it also changes the consistency of your bake. So I've got this thick paste, and I'm going to use, again, about a 1/4 teaspoon like this. And then we're just going to beat those together for another minute until it's all combined. Okay, and now it's time for our dry ingredients. So it's looking pretty red now, but once our cocoa's in, it'll look a lot nicer. So I've got a sieve, which I'm going to put directly over my bowl, and I've got 235 grams of plain flour, and that's going to go through the sieve, along with 15 grams of cocoa powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of bicarb, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And sieve those into the bowl, and then back on with the paddle. So I'm not mixing it for very long at all, just bringing it to form a dough. And now we just need to chill it for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to put it into a bowl, and I'm using a glove because of all the red food colouring. It will go all over my hand otherwise. And then I'm just going to cover that with a little bit of cling film, pop it in the fridge, clear down this, and then we'll get ready for our cheesecake filling. Okay, so our dough is chilling in the fridge, and we're going to make the cheesecake filling, which is going to bake with the cookie, and it's delicious. It's going to be a simple vanilla cheesecake, and I'm going to start with 290 grams of cream cheese. Something like Philadelphia is perfect for this, along with 60 grams of caster sugar, 1 more egg, and another 1/4 teaspoon of good quality vanilla extract. And this time we're going to mix it with our balloon whisk, because we do want to create a little bit of air. We want to make it go nice and fluffy and airy. And you'll notice when you're doing this that it starts going really runny to begin with, but don't worry, just keep mixing it. It'll take about 5 minutes or until it goes really nice and thick, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's reached it. So about 5 minutes later, we've got this really lovely thick cheesecake. Right, so let's cover that with cling film, and hopefully my wonderful assistant,
I heard you needed some dough. Here you go.
Has brought
Anything else I can get for you, madam?
Scram, back to work, back to work. We've got our nice cookie dough, which is nice and firm now. It's going to be nice, much easier to roll in our hands without getting all sticky. So cheesecake to one side. Just going to move some of this around and get my scales, because we need these to be perfect. Each ball is going to be exactly the same size, and we're going to start with dividing the batter into 15-gram pieces. Now this should make about 36 cookie cups, which is probably plenty, but we'll see. There's lots of hungry people here today. So that's all the dough divided into 15-gram pieces, and now I'm going to get my tins ready. So I've got mini cupcake pans here because they make the perfect size cookie cup, and I'm going to give them a spray with this cake tin spray. If you don't have any of this, that's totally fine. You can, it'll take a bit of time, but you can grease each cup with a bit of butter and then dust it with a little bit of flour as well, and that means that they'll just come out nice and easily. But if you have got some spray, then lucky you, because we're just going to give it a nice light spray all over. And now it's time to roll the dough into balls, and I'm actually going to put on a pair of gloves for this because, well, food hygiene and all, also red food colouring and all. And just roll it between your hands, doesn't need to be super spherical, and pop it into the cupcake pan. And once they're all into balls, we now need to make a little divot in the middle of them for our cheesecake to sit into. So I'm going to use this little rolling pin, which is about 2 centimetres diameter. If you've got something similar, then go ahead and use that. If not, then just use your thumb. What we're going to do is just gently push down into the dough to make a little cup. So now it's time to fill our cookie cups with the cheesecake, and I've put it into a piping bag already just so it's a lot easier to squeeze out, and we're going to fill it just to the top of each cookie. These are going to bake at 170 for 10 minutes, and then once they're baked, take them out and let them cool down completely. Meanwhile, we're going to make some icing to decorate them with. So let's go and get these in the oven. We're going to decorate these with Oreo buttercream, and we're going to start with 150 grams of soft butter. We're going to get that beating until it's really pale and white in colour. Right, so that is really nice and white. You can see here, that's perfect. Now we can start adding the icing sugar, and I've got 330 grams of icing sugar, which is already sifted. We're going to start by putting half of it in. Start your mixer on a low speed so it doesn't puff up in your face. It's happened many times here in the bakery and it's hilarious but messy. And once it's incorporated, you can start bringing the speed up, and again just beating it. We want to mix it for as long as we can, really, just to get loads of air in it. It's going to make the icing really light to eat, not kind of stodgy and waxy and coating your mouth. And then we can add the remaining icing sugar and do the exact same thing again, starting slow, bringing up the speed, giving it a good beat for say about 2 to 3 minutes until it's really pale and fluffy. So now we are going to add to this a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract along with 2 tablespoons of crushed up Oreos. I'm going to start the mixer and let that begin to combine, and then I'm going to start adding some milk, and that's going to loosen it a little bit because at the moment it's quite stiff and piping this out is going to be impossible. So I'm going to start with about 1 tablespoon of milk, and I'm going to pour that in slowly. I'm going to turn the speed up, and then we're going to test the consistency of it. So it's still feeling quite stiff. So I'm just going to go in with another tablespoon of milk, and then I think we're there. And I think this is perfect. So what we're going to do now is put this into a piping bag and bring back my cookie cups, which have cooled down, and we'll decorate. So we've got our cookie cups, some Oreo icing with a round nozzle, it's my favourite, and then we're going to actually drizzle these with some ganache and some salted caramel, which Jemma has done many a recipe for, so we'll make sure we put links to those in the description box below. Let's just have some fun and get decorating. So I'm going to go first with the salted caramel. And then over the top with ganache. And that is it, the finished Velvet Volcano cookie cup. You probably want to wait a little bit for them to set. The ganache is going to go all over your face, but I think that we should give them a go. Don't you, Jemma?
I hear wet ganache over my face.
Yeah,
Great.
I know. I want to have one too. Right, here we go. Cheers.
Don't talk with your mouth full. Yummy. Ooh, these are really good. That cookie is so good. You could probably make these into cookies if you wanted to as well.
I think so.
This is tasty. It's got everything.
Yeah, which is what the Velvet Volcano was one day in the bakery we just had all these leftover bits and we thought, nah, let's bung them all together.
What could possibly go wrong? And everything went perfectly right, so
yay, so that's them.
go.
Yeah, hopefully you do let us know if you do try them, post them on Instagram. And also I'll have a word with the shop in Soho and make sure we can get these on all weekend. So if you're in the area, come and say hi. Grab one of these if you can't be bothered to make them, but I hope you do because they're easy, they're kind of long and a bit faffy, but totally worth it.
Totally one of my favourite things to eat. Well done.
Oh, thanks. Jemma will be back next week.
I will.
Yay!
See you then.
Bye.